people. My name is Miss Ralisha, and I am back for another celebrity psychic reading. I decided to do something different today because there was like a complaint saying that they can't see the tarot cards when I'm shuffling them and how I'm picking cards. I don't have to fake this for anyone. I decided to do a YouTube channel to basically get myself out there. But I have a whole dedicated clientele. I have credibility. I don't have to fake the funk with you guys. So I'm going to do this reading today, literally showing you guys me shuffling the cards and picking out the cards, okay? So today I'm going to do T.I. and his family. That's who I'm going to do, T.I. and his family. So as you guys know, in the news, there was a interview that Ti did, stating that when his daughter have her annual visits, he gets the results of her visits to see if her hymen is still intact. So I don't know how to really feel about that. I really feel like that's an invasion of like her privacy, and him sharing that with the world. Only he did was like open up Pandora's box. And as you can see, you guys, she deleted her Instagram because of the comments and backlash that she was receiving from him disclosing her virginity status. So, um, I don't know. I always thought Ti was a little bit too egotistical for me, but it's his family, and he's raising his daughter how he sees fit. Um, I heard there was like a double standard thing going on. Like he has all the energy for his daughters, but his sons kind of get away with stuff. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see today. So I'm gonna do Ti and his family. I'm gonna see how Ti feels about leaking that type of news. How Deja feels, how her mother feels, how Tiny feels, and is there really a double standard um, thing going on with Ti and his family? Like, what's his thoughts on that? So, um, first thing I'm gonna do is I want to see the energy that's going on around his family right now since that has happened. And you guys, you have to forgive me how I look because this is how I look on a natural morning. Like before I even head out to my day, like after I get out the shower and brush my teeth and stuff, this is how I look. So, and also, you guys, my nails have grown. My real nails have grown. But okay, what is Ti's real name? Clifford Harris, I think. I think this is his real name. Can you tell me what is the energy, the general overall energy around Ti and his family? Clifford Harris and his family. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Can you show me, guys? Okay. This is the first card, which is the castle. By the way, you guys, this is my mentor's deck. It's called Night and Magic or whatnot. It's a really good deck. It's a really good deck. But this is the first card, letting you guys see it. And I'm going to place it down. This is the second card. And this is the third card. Okay. So from the first card, what I'm getting is this is talking about their home life and how Ti is basically king of his castle. He's definitely the um ruler of that household. Like he has certain rules and regulations that they must follow in order to live in his household. He pays a good chunk of the bills. He's making sure everyone is taken care of. Um, he is the authoritative figure in the household. I don't get that Tiny is the dominant one in the household. It's Ti. There's certain expectations that he measures up to everyone to follow, and if they do not follow, he rings down his iron fist. And I'm not saying that literally like he'll punch somebody in that household, but he's a big disciplinarian. Okay, so it's just basically showing the structure of their household. It's definitely my way or the highway with Ti in his own house. Um, it's also showing the business aspect of the house. Like it's not just one entrepreneur in the house; it's multiple entrepreneurs. So they kind of have like this business mindset as well. Like they have perfectly incorporated family and business together. The second card is called the Mark of Reflections, and that is basically showing that after all this happened, it did kind of put a lot of things on the table. I really do believe that there was a lot of reflecting on how he runs the household, his parenting style, a lot of things. But this in particular is talking about his daughter, Deja Harris. This is basically showing her in deep reflective thought. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The energy I get from her was mortified. Like, how could you put my business out on blast like that? Like, oh my god! Like, it was sheer embarrassment and shame. And don't get me wrong. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong. Deja has never flaunted on social media that she was like, out there or anything like that. But still, she takes pride in her image. She takes pride in her privacy. And to her, he kind of went too far. And it's just showing her reflecting on it, showing the women in the household in general reflecting on it, the women in her family. So there is a lot of whispers and there is a lot of talks and text messages going back and forth. And it is a lot of Deja kind of going into seclusion, like isolation, like her just really taking time to sit back and really reevaluate a lot of things when it's concerning her family and her relationship with her father, because that really hurt her. It really hurt her. In her mind, how could you disclose something like that to the public? The last card I got, which is called the Mark of the Beguiler, and this is basically, as you can see, disagreements between two sexes, the male and the female. So this is basically showing that while Deja's in like seclusion and like really taking this personally hard as she should, this is also showing that tempers have been flaring over. So I don't get Tiny from this. I do feel like Tiny has said something, but this energy of this card gives me that this is her mother, Deja's mother, and Ti arguing, and it's not just like little disagreements. This is full out like arguing, bellowing at each other because she herself could not understand like why would you do that, and why would you disclose something like that. Something tells me that her mother did not know that was necessarily going on. And I know you guys were like, wait, how would she not know? How would she not know? No, something tells me she didn't know the extent of it. And when it got out like that, she was pissed. And it doesn't showing them, it's not showing them reaching a compromise about the situation. It's just like a line drawn in the sand right now. Like, you stay on your side, stay on my side when it comes to um, raising our daughter in the future. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do three more cards. Fourth card, which is called the Meteor. Fifth card, which is the Mark of the Hero, one of my personal favorites in the cards. And the last card I'm going to pull from this deck is the Mark of the Deep. So, from the Meteor, I'm getting that this will appear on a future show. They're going to use some way, they're going to use that in some way to gain, like, money or something. Like they're gonna spend it around, and it's also to kind of save face. Like T.I.'s gonna explain his side, Tiny's gonna say something, the kids are gonna say something. Like I really do think they're gonna put this in a future show. Um, Mark of the Hero, which I just said is one of my personal favorite cards, is basically a card of endurance and strength. So Deja is gonna come back stronger than ever. This has taught her a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, this may not be that big. No, it was a big deal to her. It really was. She's gonna come back stronger than ever. She's sitting back thinking of how to bounce back from this, and she will. Um, Mark of the Deep, and that card right there is showing emotional scrutiny. So whenever I get Mark of the Deep for someone, it's basically a concept of feeling like you're drowning and feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So this is kind of also speaking of Deja's emotional mind state at this time right now, but it's also it's also pointing more to Ti. Like, don't get me wrong, he still stands firm on what he believes is a correct parenting style of how to raise his daughters. But part that did like kind of when he started to receive the backlash, it did kind of like click something in the back of my mind, like, oh shit, damn, maybe I did went too far, but my ego will not let me admit that, and I'm going to stand firm on what I believe. But parts of me do know, like, damn, I may have went too far. I may have exposed too much. I may have said too much. That's something I should have kept personal and private. So it is showing the concept of like him and Deja's relationship right now. They cannot find the light at the end of the tunnel. And I also feel like Ti has tried to reach out to her, and she doesn't necessarily answer his calls. She's been ignoring his texts, stuff like that. I think he has came by to visit, and you know, couldn't see her. So that's what I'm getting out of this. That's what I feel out of what's going on, the overall energy around the situation. So I'm finna switch decks. As you can see, I'm finna put Knight and Magic up. And I'm gonna go to my personal favorite deck. And I'm not sure if anyone recognizes this, but this is the Zombie Tarot deck. This is my favorite deck besides Knight and Magic. It really is. When I first saw this deck, it just called to me. And if you know, you guys do tarot cards or whatever the case may be, psychic medium, whatever. Um, it's just like when you're shopping from tarot cards, it's one particular card that would just call to you, and you have to buy it. And that's also a part of using your gifts, getting in tune to what calls to you. So this deck definitely called to me. I love it. It has helped me with so many readings, especially questions dealing with like situations or relationships and stuff. This is the deck I like to use. So this deck, I love it. My clairvoyance is so in tune with it. I love it. So first, I'm going to see how Tiny feels about this situation, because from Night and Magic, we kind of got an in tune of what Deja and T.I. feels, but I want to see how Tiny Harris, Tamika Harris, Miss Tamika Harris, if you're nasty, Miss Ryder, if you're nasty, if you look there at show, you know what I'm talking about. But I want to see how she overall feels about the situation. Because Tiny's a Cancer, I think she's a Cancer sign woman. While emotional, she also got that bite, that kick, that I feel like most Cancer women have. Like, they're emotional, but they will stab you. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, how does Tamika Harris, aka Tiny, feel about the overall situation? What's going through Tamika Harris's mind? What's her thoughts and emotions on this 5? 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Spirit, can you show me this? First card, 2 of Wands. Second card, the High Priestess. Third card, Eight of hazards, which it can sum into eight of coins. Fourth card, Ace of Cups. Fifth card, the Tower. Last card, Queen of Hazards, which is Queen of Coins or Queen of Pentacles in some decks. So, okay, the first two things I'm seeing is Tiny is kind of divided. She's kind of divided. Um, she's kind of divided on how to go forward with this being discussed in the social media, and like I really feel like also people have been in her DMs or under her comments like saying like how could you let him do that to her or whatever the case may be. Like it kind of blindsided her when that got released. Like when she first heard that interview and heard him say that, she was like, why, what, like I can hear literally her voice like, why would you do that? You can't go around telling people business like that. Like I literally hear like this country twang like going off. Here's another thing, guys. The reason why she's so divided is because Ti is, besides being egotistical and authoritative, he can also be emotionally manipulative, and he knows how to work Tiny's mind into eventually being on his side or forgiving him. He's always done that, and I think if you guys watch the show, because I only seen like what maybe two episodes of their show ever. But if you watch the show, you can obviously see displays of that emotional manipulation with Tiny. Like, don't get me wrong, Tiny is a strong woman, but she's also a water sign woman, and most water sign women are fueled off of emotions. So I do feel like there is a stake between her loyalty to her husband and her love for her bonus daughter. I'm not even gonna say step because she treats all those kids, they're hers.